Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today's live webinar. I'm your host, Dr. Shah Siddiqui, and we have a special episode today, and we have a special guest for us to talk about. So, today we're going to be covering lowering marketing costs to accelerate growth. You know, when you do businesses, and if you're a slowpreneur or a SME leaders, you wanted to grow. So, if your expenditure is higher than your income, okay, then the businesses fall apart. So today we're going to be discussing some of the key points, how you can lower your costs, adding not, I would say, not hampering your business, and then you start your growth to the next levels. To discuss about that, I have a special person, and you probably know him. And if you don't know him, he is our great Cristian Voinea, and we work together to support businesses to get them ready for growth. And Christian, thank you very much for joining today's live webinar.
Hello,
How are
Dr.
you
Shah.
today?
Thank you very much again for asking me to come through your show. And I want to say a big thank you to people that are watching right now, but also to people that are watching the review and the recordings afterwards, because it's important to say hello to everybody. So today it's a good day. It's a good day because we
It's,
are
it's,
alive.
it's a sunny day here in Southampton, and you know that I'm in Southampton and Christian is in North. So we are two parts of the UK, but sometimes if you're in the one part and if you're in the other parts, sometimes some places it's sunny, some places it's raining. But today, everywhere is sunny in the UK, so that's a good thing because when there is sun, you feel like lightened. You feel like okay, you need to do more work. When it is raining, you feel okay. I need to go. I need to just take some rest.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Hi.
thank you, Christian, for uh, today for your time. We're going to be talking about the different aspects of the business. You are working with individuals, slowpreneurs, SME leaders, to get them the nudge, how they can, start growth themselves and get those kind of specific characteristics that usually a person do not think of. You know, you've been a slowpreneur, I've been a slowpreneur for a long time. Now I have a team of 20, 25 people working together. You also work with many other peoples, and we have seen the shift of our knowledge that okay, when we working alone and then gradually we working with team, it's different, it's totally different. And there is a shift nowadays towards mentorship. There is a shift nowadays towards like social media, speaking, creating content and all other things. And um, I wasn't a people person. I told you before, all the audience, they are watching these lives, they knew that I was very introverted. And I hate to talk. Okay. Now I'm a public speaker, I speak. So, the shift from the being I myself and now I am the person is totally different. So, we just wanted to discuss about your experiences the before you have started and your work through who you are now. If you could share our audience a bit more about you, and I think they will understand why it is important to change your true selves to a different you true selves with time, with society, with politics, and with a lot of different things. Why it is necessary.
Of course, and that's actually a really good thing that you mentioned there, Dr. Shah, is because like you said yourself, we are introverts but extroverts at the same time. It all depends on the environment and also the circumstances we are being put into, but also faced with. Because I remember when I was younger, I was very shy person. You wouldn't speak to me at all. You wouldn't. Well, I wasn't that the face of the party. The one who's
Mhm.
gonna show up and do it this way. But At some point, because of the environment. And I remember when I was in high school, I was bullied and I was calling names and all that. And at some
Mhm,
point, I had to that enough, it's enough. So this is where I learned that when you realize that you can do and you are more than you project, this is when you realize that you have a few images.
mhm,
That one is the image that you see yourself, one is the
mhm,
image that other people see you, and the third one is the one you actually are, and the one you create, then the one you show up every time. Because if you look at the in the mirror, or look at the screen now, what do you see in yourself in that screen? It's not really how do you see yourself,
mhm,
or how the other people are seeing you. So creating that environment when you can be your true self and get the support from other people, it's crucial. And I remember you mentioned a few times, the moving from solopreneurship into working with other people and connecting.
mhm,
And we believe the network, your network is your net worth. So the more you
yes.
connect with other people, the more you build those relationships, and you are true to that relationship, the easier is to portray and bring the best out of the tools and the qualities that you have. Because, and we were talking just before we went live, we were talking about that how people perceive us and how we perceive ourselves. If you are true to that in everything
Mhm,
that you do, and you're not faking it, fake it until you make it. Um, this is where the right people will stay with you, because the ones that you share your challenges and you share your struggles, they will use that as a tool to put you down. But the right people, they will use that as a mean to support you, to help you. And I have great friends. And I can count it on one hand right now, which I can say, yeah, those people
mhm,
I can count. Comparing with, let's say,
mhm,
15, 20 years ago, when I had 30, 40, 50, God knows how many. We were all bros and sisters at some point. And I think
mhm,
with all this social media um, change
mhm,
after COVID, during the COVID, everybody became brother and sisters. And at some point, I'm getting these messages from these people I never met. Hey, bro. Hey, all this,
mhm,
and I'm like, the understanding of brothership, or do you know what a brother means? Even
yes.
if you're not a brother from your real mother, it means like a strange,
Yes.
like a really strong connection. It means you share the same values and you done things together that created that bond. So right now we
Mhm,
live in an environment which is fake, a lot of
mhm,
fakeness. And it's
mhm,
easy to see great people falling apart because they stop believing in themselves,
mhm.
because other people are successful, if that makes
Yes.
sense. So, just
I totally
I
agree
hope
with
that,
you, Christian. Yes. So sorry for the interruption. I totally agree with you.
that's okay.
I have seen my early age. I have seen my, teenager. Now I'm in the mid range. Okay. So from starting to this point that I am now, I have seen gradual and drastic change of myself. And I think majority of the people will go with this kind of changes. Um, I, in my childhood, I was very much strong. Like, okay, if I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. You can't you force me to do it. Okay, now myself,
Yeah.
if I don't want to do it, I give it second thought. Shall I do it, or it is appropriate for me to do it? And if I do it, what benefits it give it to me? So I change my strongness with boldness, with something that is more creative, that will stir my growth to the next levels. So, can you describe something like that I felt on my past lives and present lives, that how we should model ourselves. Like, okay, we have to be very strong, not thinking about anything that happening. I said, and that I said. Or uh, we have to go with the flow. We have to think about community. We have to think about ourselves. We have to think about our profit and loss and all those things. And then we determine, okay, we will do it or not do it. How do you do it?
Okay, so I think it goes back to your values. Your core
Hmm.
values are the one that are dictating where you go and then how you do things. Because whatever you do in a personal life reflects on a person, a professional one to a certain extent. And this is where you understand that if you want to make something in the right way, sometimes you have to take those bold decisions. You have to make that what's the word that one of my friends told me the other day, a radical change.
Hmm.
You have to shift and say enough, it's enough, or I don't do this anymore, because we are easy to go into that, go with the flow. This is what everybody does. But if
Hmm.
you look on people like Edison or Ford or many other people, or like one of my the great friends. I say friends, but we never met because he died many years ago. But Bob Proctor, he said that you become who you believe that
Hmm.
you can become. If you believe that you can, it's okay. If you believe in, if you
Hmm.
can't, it's okay again. That's the reality that you put into it. So wherever you go, you have to have that integrity, because it's so easy to come out of the integrity and adapt just so you can please the audience, rather than stick to your own truth and your own, you know, views of how life should be. And like you said it earlier, as long as you don't hurt somebody intentionally, and you take that feedback, if somebody says I'm
Hmm.
getting hurt from the things that you do or say, then you go and do what you want to do. And this is how why those are so important, and especially in professional life, because in a business circle, and I joined a few circles
Hmm.
recently, including Jamie, and we both are part of the circle network.
Hmm.
You can see the people that are activated differently. They are come from a
Yeah.
nurture point of view rather than a monetary point of view. Or how can I make money? How can I sell
Yes.
something? So when you come from that nurture
Hmm.
and nurture and mutual respect and understanding, that's where everything is aligned and everything is going in a nice place, and you go 10x it, because you are in
Hmm.
alignment, you're connected with the right people. And that's why when you said it, again, I go back to what you said about solopreneurship into uh, businessship, is you turn from business to business. Because we are all
Hmm.
busy, are we really doing
Yes.
business? Are we really running a business, or are we just busy having a business? I hope
Hmm.
that answers your question, Dr. Shah.
I totally agree with you, Christian, because you know, we have to make a mark what we do. Okay, that would be everyone interested. My
Yeah,
interest, and then my family interest, and my interest, and then overall solving problems. So when we individual businesses, I ask them what really they wanted to do, what problem they wanted to solve. Because some people they think that okay, I will bring a product or services, uh, it will I will sell it to people and I will earn a lot of money. But that doesn't work that way. You can bring product and services, you have a great vision, you have a great value, you have a great thing to do, but if that product or services that will not solve anyone's problem, even in one person problem, then it isn't a good thing that you can bring it up, because you need to modify it for the purpose of the people that you wanted to serve. But what I have
yeah,
seen myself, that we consider our personal value over other people, because in this world, I think it's 9 billion people. Uh, Everyone's different, isn't it? So my personal thingy can't match, even match with my son, can't match with my wife's, okay? Can match with anyone. So
Yeah,
we have to make it happen for other people, not for us. So
of
in
course.
relation to that, we will come back to lower the cost and all other things later. In relation to that, what do you think a person on a business should be? Do they think about only themselves, or do they think about, okay, solving a problem, creating their product and services for the people, for the right people, not for them?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and I think it's kind of. I'll try to answer this in a wider area rather than goal specific.
Mhm.
And I think to a certain extent comes back to the integrity again, because this is when you realize who you are. Like for instance, right now, if somebody sees us talking, they'll be like, "Oh, this really." These two guys are going through really good times and everything else. However, I can say right now that I have struggles into how to change the businesses that I'm in because they're not producing the things that I wanted. So going back to what's more important, well, your message is important to you first. And I would say, without this, is not being selfish. It's about you drive that business, because
Yes.
if you are the one just trying to please the people and looking for the product to please the people, but you don't really believe in it, then you will
Yes.
fail. People will start
Mhm.
seeing that it's a fake. People are gonna call you fake, like some people called me fake at some point because they didn't understood, or they didn't knew me enough or know me enough to understand that what I'm doing and what I'm saying is what I believe in. And maybe it's not happening right now, but I can see myself in I don't know 3 5 years time being and doing it. So just
Mhm.
because I'm not there right now, in my mind, in my body, I envision that, I projected that, and I can see it forward. So going back to your question is,
Mhm.
when you do something, do it for yourself, but also look at how it's going to benefit the other people. So
Mhm.
it's a mixture of both. Because if you create a product which only appeals to you and nobody else's, that product is going to fail. But
Yes.
if you come with from that point of nurturing, like we mentioned earlier, from you coming from that uh, point of I want to give something which is going to benefit, I'm giving it with my whole heart, and
Mhm.
obviously I'm going to benefit from that as well because I'm helping. So reciprocity, it's happening. It's like I'm giving you something, like the connection between you and me, Dr. Shah. We've been connected for such a long time, and it only took about 2 years for us just to look and observe until we managed to connect, see the values that are working, and then the minute we done that, everything just went like this. We create
Yes.
the same product or service, and we together looking to see how we can reach out to other people to
Mhm.
help them, because we believe that that is the right way to do it. So I hope that kind of
Yes.
gives you
That's
an
a
answer.
great explanation, Christian. That's a great explanation. We have to answer a few questions from the audience,
I have no
and thank you,
question to
everyone.
tackle. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for joining today's live webinar. I'm Dr. Shah Siddiqui from Time Research and Innovations, NC Marketing Agency, and Chatbot AI. And we have Christian from the Lead2Leap, and Cristian Voinea, and he is a coach, and he also he is multidimensional, I would say, because he also does property. And the great thing that he is doing, supporting individuals with property market, how you can excel your growth buying properties, renting them, or selling them later. So we will talk about a little bit of that now, Christian,
Sure.
because I didn't touch what you do and how you support your community. So, working with you, you have different dimensions like I am. So, can
Yes.
you tell a bit more to the audience about your speaking as well as mentoring uh, activities, and
Of
as
course,
well as your lead to live and your business with the property.
of course. Well, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to give them a message and an answer which is going to blend the two. So what I do, I empower people to believe in themselves, to become the best version of themselves, to take away the limitations and understand that you can be whoever you want to be if you
Mhm,
really believe in yourself. And with the right support and guidance, you can shift and you can take that leap, that those create those quantum leaps when you think that it cannot be possible. And
mhm,
when you take those leaps, I learned from my own experience that building your legacy and your wealth through properties, through estate, and through assets is going to give you that nice journey, and you're going to live your life without stressing. And
mhm,
when you have those gaps and you have those limitations come back again, that's when connecting with people like myself and like you, and coming with the right knowledge and information, that's when we connect stronger, we build those quantum leaps, and we create these legacies, which can be, and my experience, this is my advice from my experience, that building and seeing the opportunities in the property industry in different aspects, and knowing and be connected with the right people, it makes a huge difference. So that's what I do. I just empower people and show them how to build their legacy through property industry, to be nice and short.
That's good. That's a great explanation, Christian. So I have my first questions, and I wanted to share about Christian Facebook. So if anyone wanted to add Christian on Facebook, you can add him directly from the Facebook. And I have my first questions. Although I can see my questions on my LinkedIn events, I cannot see that questions here. So what I will do, I will read that questions to you. Uh,
Okay.
One of the guests says, Terry said, "Thank you, Terry, for your message. I look forward to." Uh, 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 Benefiting from Dr. Shah and Christian for marketing services. Thank you very much, Terry. We work together and we support each other like Christian. So thank you very much for your message. Salahuddin Biplav, you said, are there marketing channels that continuously offer a higher ROI at a lower cost? That's a very good question because
It is.
when we talk about the marketing, I will share our channels and go from there. So um, uh, the next questions is, what are the most common areas where companies overspend in marketing without realizing? So I think this question we can answer now, and then I will jump into our marketing channels, how we work. So
Yes.
Christian, can you answer these questions?
I will try my best because this is a very, very good question. I
Hmm.
think, and again, from my own experience and knowledge, the most common areas where the companies overspend in marketing without realizing is the one they are putting money and they get no results back. It's really that simple. I cannot say that area in particular because every company, every business is doing that in a different way and in a different sector of their business. So looking, this is why it's so important to analyze and to look at the figures and what goes right and what doesn't. Because
Hmm.
if you understand that spending, let's say you have let's look at what we're streaming right now on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Okay, so if your audience, your main audience, is on YouTube, and you overspend in marketing in on Facebook, then I think it comes without saying that you're overspending in the wrong direction. So understanding your uh, your audience and understanding where your business is fitting the best.
Hmm.
That's how you avoid rather than that's how you avoid overspending in the
Hmm.
wrong places. That's why you need to go and evaluate, and you
Mhm.
also need to go and realize, based on the information and the actions you have taken, what is that one thing that brings you the most. So we go to Pareto principle, where 80-20 applies. So 20% of your actions brings you 80% of your revenue, or your results. So when you think that if you think that you're overspending somewhere, it means
Mhm.
that it's going to show on your balance. It's going to show on the results that you're going to get. So analyzing and acknowledging those information,
Mhm.
it's crucial. So I think that's the answer to the question in a broad line, because I have to know more to understand. Yeah, this is the
Yes.
area. But spending in
Thank
the
you.
wrong marketing, it's spending in the wrong um, department, if that makes sense.
I totally agree with you, Christian, because I'm going to be sharing my screen in a minute, and Redwan and Salatin, both of you. Coach Salatin said, "Are there marketing channels that consistently offer higher ROI at lower cost?" When you think about marketing, and when we think about appropriate, right proportion of marketing, right? Christian said earlier, uh, you have to have a balance out there. We have a misconception. What are the misconception? I will share that with you right now. So I'm just sharing my screen. So I will go through with a few minutes to talk about it. Just give me a few seconds. Wanted to share my screen, and I wanted to talk about it. Firstly, uh, when you think about marketing, okay, uh, what are the common mistakes that we make is uh, thinking marketing will get us sales. That's the first common mistake. Okay, marketing will never get us sales. Okay, sales channel, sales people, they are different. Maybe one person can work combined with marketing and sales, but marketing and sales are two different domains. So you need to know how do you do marketing, and you to know how do you generate your sales. So what happened, people say that, okay, if you do not do marketing, then you do not generate sales. That's I would say, yes, in a way that is right. You have to do marketing to generate sales. So marketing is creating the persona, marketing is creating the authority, marketing is reaching your target audience. Okay, so when you're thinking about marketing, you need to have a combined plan that you have marketing and sales and they grow together. Okay, if you have marketing, that will not generate that many sales. You have to have combination. So we have solved that problem. So with sales funnel accelerator, as you know, that we have a combination of business. So we start with idea generation, and then we start with business development, where Christian and other people, different categories and different domain kick in. We support to build your momentum with individual characteristics and individual expertise. So we have a 7-step formula, and we call it process. And this 7-step formula process is for the business to understand the root of their problem. So that's why we said, if you do not understand the root of your problem, you cannot fix them. Christian touched upon that previously. I also touched upon that previously. Like, you need to know your business. You have to know what you are offering. That's the first thing. And then tailor that offering for the people, for the problem you wanted to solve. That's the second thing. Because if you don't understand your product or services, you're not going to solve anything. You're not going to solve anything. And no one will buy from you because you don't believe yourself. That's the first thing. So what we do, we work together with you to understand your business first. Sometimes some people say, okay, I bring this product and I understand them very well. No, it's not understanding from your perspective, it's understanding from both of the perspective, you and the market, you and the consumer, you and the country, you and the geography. you and the politics. Is lots of different string there that you need to consider to understand that the thing you are growing, you understand that. So that's one thing. And then it's what digital technology you have. Uh, do, do you have a website? Do you have any other social channel? What you have. So that's the marketing kick in. So you have a product, you have branding, you do marketing, you haven't started to sell yet, because before you start your sales, you need to sort out your marketing. Like, how do you reach people? What you will display? How would your website be? And then you create a combined strategy, like we say from our end, 360-degree marketing. So with 360-degree marketing, what you would have, you would have a website. So I can share one of our clients. So Carl Schoenfeld is one of our clients. He was my teacher, as I said earlier. So he teaches me uh, screenplay, screenwriting, writing, and a lot of other things when I was in undergraduate degree. Okay, I think Christian wanted to add one comment. So when I finish this, I will add Christian to talk about it. So you need to understand that your projection is right, as a rightful. So you have right technology and a valuable assets, because sometimes we think that we will go for a cheap thing and we don't think about business assets. So what we do, we build business assets together. Like, okay, when you wanted to have a business exit, you have a knowledgeable system, and then you can sell it. So Christian, you are right. So could you please add your comment here to start this conversation to the next levels?
Sure. I think it's what you said is also well, very true. What I didn't want to add a comment. I just want to say that we have Salman in on LinkedIn who has joined us, and he actually asked a really good question because he's asking, he's saying that our obviously our webinar offers valuable insight, which is great to know because we are trying to optimize marketing strategies and reduce the cost. Um,
Mhm,
but the question is how is asking us if we actually consider implementing these techniques gradually. I think
mhm,
this is exactly the whole point of this conversation, is to
mhm,
understand that when you put something in place, it's not happening overnight. It happens gradually. That's why I always look and say, look at the three A's when you bring into your business: acknowledge what's going on,
mhm,
adjust based on the information that you get, and then take action to shift. It's like you're shifting the boat. You're
mhm,
looking into something and you understand how it works. And if you go towards the North Pole and you can see the South Pole, that
mhm.
means you're totally way out of your reach. So
Yes.
exactly the marketing strategies is the same thing. Look and acknowledge how it works, take it gradually and do it like 30, 60, 90 days plan, or every
Mhm,
quarter, depending on how your business is working and generating, and apply those techniques based on that.
mhm,
That's what you call gradually. If you want to get rich overnight, you can try, but if you want to build a legacy and actually have a steady and sustainable business, then you need to look at 5, 10, 15 years plan. I know it sounds long term, but I've been in UK for 18 years almost now, and it took me 10 years to establish something, and it takes me another 5 years to become the leader or
mhm,
the go-to person. It took me 6 years to become the go-to person in property sector. By well, actually 10 years if I put my previous experiences, to draft and craft the message where people believe that I'm the person to go to. So in marketing it's the same thing.
mhm.
You need to learn those techniques, you need to implement them gradually, and then you need to acknowledge, adjust, and action. Simple as that. So
Yes,
that's
yes, I
that's my
totally agree with you.
on to
I
you.
totally agree with you, Christian, because we don't think about solving your problems from the root. That is our problem, isn't it?
Yes.
So when you think about how you could lower your marketing cost, you need to understand, as I mostly when I talk to people, I give an example of puzzle pieces, isn't it? So when you have puzzle pieces together, you know which puzzle pieces you're going to be putting there and win the race. If you don't have the right puzzle pieces for right place, the canvas not going to be finished. It's going to be you can't win the race. So I will share my screen again to talk
Yeah.
about that as well. So when you think about your business, okay, it's just like marketing and sales growing together. So you have a digital production projections, and I will share that we're also working on Christian Leap2Leap branding. So this is on under a development phase. So there will be some errors. Don't worry about that. But what we are bringing, that's the point. So we're going to be launching this very soon, maybe in a couple of months' time. But you need to understand your projections. Like, okay, when people see, they see something uh, related to present time. So present time, you probably know, is AI there. Present time, you probably know a lot of Gen Z and Gen Alpha there in the market. So if you do not produce something on your social channel, it will fall apart because your ideal customer won't be there. So you need to think about your ideal customer. Who do you want it to reach, and how do you want it to reach? And then what we say is 360-degree angles. So I wanted to share something here. What are the 360-degree angles? To be very precise, 360-degree angles is like your digital projections, get digital channel ready, your marketing target, your social media target, and then work it through to get to the next level. So sometimes some marketing company, they will say, okay, we'll do your marketing. But as I said, marketing will not itself give you uh, the growth. Marketing will give you the persona and authority, and you need to work with that persona and authority to create your sales. So now I'm going to be talking about sales and marketing together. So when you know that, okay, you have a website, and firstly, if your website is SEO enabled, SEO enables mean when people search you, they will find you easily. That's one of the puzzle pieces. Then you need to know social media marketing. So are you doing social media marketing? If you are doing social media marketing, like Christian said earlier, that you are doing LinkedIn, but your customer are in Facebook, how could you get to your customer? You cannot. So you need to know where your customer hang around to address them. So starting with us, we target 4 social media channels to start with: LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because you need videos, you need webinars, you need to contact and convert from Facebook and LinkedIn all together, and as well as Instagram, because you're going to be targeting the Gen Z and Gen Alpha, and they are all in Instagram. So based on that, you also need to do another thing, and that I think mostly fall apart when we think that, okay, do you do email marketing or cold calling? That's another thing. And there is a systematic way to do it. So we have combined a system that will generate, I would say, 80 to 95% success rate. Because what we do, we are part of a global database company, and I will share that with you now. We know people uh, what they are looking for. So you can see we are part of Zoom Info, and we have relevant databases. So if I go over there, like, okay, someone is asking for, so we are researching for generative AI and chatbots, because that's one of our wing. So we know that this company, they were looking for generative AI thingy. So sorry, it's just loading. We know uh, if we target this company, okay, if we reach this company through social media, so you can know that, okay, someone from this company, we can reach them, and all the people, they are related to this company. So if we target our best uh, intent Like, okay, I know that this is someone is senior vice VP, and if they are thinking about changing their system to add AI, implement AI, then these three person going to be the right thing for us to connect. And what we do, we have created our persona, we have a marketing plan, and then we connecting the right people with right medium, and that it will convert and generate sales. And what mostly happen, people usually undermine these things, like, okay, uh, if you are marketing, you are just marketing, and marketing will not get you sales. If you are doing sales, you don't have the person and authority. If you reach people, they're not going to see you on the social media, because they wanted to see you on the social media, so you are not there. So both together combination, if you do not have a methodology, you can't succeed. So working with us, what we do, we work end to end with our clients, understanding their business, training them for to get to better CEO, better business owner, better director, and then giving them the tools and working with them to get to the desired outcome. I know it's a lengthy process. It's not a magic one, Christian. You probably agree with me that it's not a magic one. You cannot be a millionaire on the next day. That will never
Yeah.
happen. You have to work through it. So,
Yeah.
Christian.
I think what everything that you said is actually very true. And one thing that I kind of want to pick on was the fact that you said this very very well when you put to say that this part of the sales must work with this part of the marketing because it's all part of the process. So having that process in place, having that structure in place, it's what's causing it. It's not like one thing. If you do one thing, it's gonna just work. Yeah, you have one thing in your mind, but then that process, it's
Mhm.
made from different things together, which creates the one thing. Like for instance, when we started our own businesses as solopreneurs, we had five different hats. We were the
Yes.
director, we were the salesperson, we were the admin person, we were the social media person, and we were the, excuse me, the analyst person. So all these things together, they are creating one, which is yourself. It's like your body, it's made from your head, your body, your hands, your legs, and so on. You cannot function fully and to the best of yourself as a individual, but also as a business, if the things are not working together. It's like, for instance, your mind says you're great, but your body says you're rubbish, or the other way around. It's not going to work. Your body's not going to go fast if your mind says like I'm not good enough, or if
Mhm.
you don't believe in what you're doing, your business is not going to go to that level. And I've seen my own business failing. One of the businesses failing through the loops because at some point I didn't believe in that product anymore. It was something that it was not in alignment with what I was. So until I realized that, and went back to adjust, acknowledge, adjust, and move into action, that didn't change. I moved into and hurdles and uh, connecting with the wrong people, saying the wrong things, doing the wrong things, until I say, something, I need to stop. I need to
Mhm.
learn what's causing all this vicious circles and this storm. And the minute I say like, oh, hold on a second, this person here, it's not this person here. So we
Mhm.
need to go back. So that's where the acknowledgement comes from. And then I'm like, okay, so now I need to go back to my integrity and say, those people, this is what happened. This is where we are. This is what I'm doing. This is what I can offer. And
Mhm.
that's where you adjust it and then you put into action. This is what I'm going. So marketing is just going into the same level. And like you said this as well, and you have is it Urme who's asking a
Yes.
question again. It's all these questions are part of a bigger picture, and I'll
Mhm.
let you answer that question, Dr. Shak, because I think it comes from better from your expertise than mine. So it doesn't mean that I don't know it, but like, I learned one thing, that is, don't try to speak the language of the expert if you're not the expert.
I don't know. That's okay, Christian, because we work. We working together, and
Yes.
we're learning from each other. And that's another thing. You just mentioned that we used to do all those five things, or six things, or 10 things when we started. Because why? Why? Because we didn't have enough resources. We didn't have enough money, and we didn't know what to do. Okay. Now, after 15, 20 years later, we know what was our gaps. We know what we did, what mistakes we have done, um, how we could be our true selves doing different things. So that's why you become a mentor. I become a mentor, business builder, and all other things together. So here it's just like there is a maturity levels for everything. So if you're a new business and you know that you cannot do such things, that's normal. Okay. When if I ask my 10 years old that, Shamoy, can you do the work that I'm doing now? He cannot, because he don't have that maturity. He don't have that time. He don't have that knowledge to do it. So if a new person, they are doing business and they wanted to do everything, it has to go through with a process to make them mature. That's the first thing. So on LinkedIn, you probably know that is hundreds of companies. They're going to send you message or email message that they will get you 6 figure, 10 figure. Okay. But when I ask them, or when I talk to my person, that if you want me to get you 10 figure, I can get you that, but not now. I need to know what is your true self, what is your strength, what you can do, how much you are earning. If you're not earning 10,000 pounds per month, how could I get you 10 figure? That's not possible. That's not a magic one, Christian, that we would do. So in relation with Urmi, uh, data data is core thing. As a data scientist myself, and as you know, that I had a PhD on AI and software development. So what I do, I play with data, and data can reduce your cost. And people do not see these things. Like when you engage with someone, and if you do not know the likelihood that they're going to buy your product or services, you fail on the first time. Why? Because you are targeting targeting a specific category. You don't know that, okay, they wanted to buy from you or not. So most of the companies, it's the normal norm, I would say. They are not data driven. What they do, they will ask you, okay, we'll do marketing and the generate will sales will generate automatically. It doesn't happen. Okay, believe me, it doesn't happen. What it does, it create your persona. Then you have to have a data, and those data, because sometimes we send thousands of emails and that is spamming. Okay, so when you work with us, we don't do that. We only target those people with data, understanding them properly, make connection. We don't do any direct things. Okay, I connected with you, do you want to say, buy my product and services? So I can get you a magic wand and I will give I will next day you're going to be earning 10 million pounds. That doesn't happen that way. So we are data driven. We understand the person. We connect with person, like Christian said, I'm connected with him, and then we have this marriage together 2 or 3 years later. Why? Because it takes time for you to get to the person knowing other person. Yes, if you're solving problems, it at least take you, if everything is ready, like your social media is ready, your technology is ready, it takes at least 3 to 5 months to onboard a client. Even if you know them, it's not like they're going to give you the work. No, no one will give you the work with a vacuum. uh, they will know you, they will trust you, and then they will work with you. That's the normal thing. And then when you have this process done for a certain period of time, you get the traction, you get the conversion. So Christian, what is your intake on that? Like, okay, if someone hired you, uh, you're going to be giving them business from the next day. Is it happen like that way?
Well, no. It's the answer is simple. It's no,
Yeah.
because and now why is a no? It's because like you mentioned this a few times during our call today, and
Mhm.
you said the magic wand. I
Yes.
remember when I was running the other business with Purple Bricks for many years. I had a few people saying. Uh, do you have a magic wand, or they say you have a magic wand, one of those things. And the answer was I do and I don't, because that
Yes.
magic wand is based on my experience on that
Mhm.
field, based on the knowledge that I gain on that field. And that's why it became a magic wand, because I know that as an expert. I know how to speak to the person. I know how to what question to ask, what question not to ask because it's not maybe not the right time or place, and I know what solutions. Because if you
Mhm.
go into every discussion with when you practice any objections and you overcome the objections before they come objections. Let's say, for instance, somebody says that. We are looking to why would I use you as a, data analysis for my business when I can use somebody else cheaper? And you go from that space and say, well, what we're gonna do? You have the options to go to the cheaper version, which might give you the results that you're looking for. However, what we do based on our 10, 20 years experience of this field as experts, we can make sure that you're going to achieve all these targets using
Mhm.
the tools, the experience, and the resources that we have available, which we put together, and we have positive results coming from those
Mhm.
experiences to you. Yeah, the price might be higher, but the chances for you to achieve what you're looking for are higher as well. And we're going to hold your hand through the whole process and afterwards to make sure that you're going to get it. So that magic wand, it's part of the things that we have done, used, and we have received positive feedback and
Mhm.
positive results based on that. So that's the magic wand.
Totally, I totally agree with you, Christian. Because some people they say, okay, I was talking to the Circle Network yesterday, so we are referring Circle Network, and you know that we are part of Circle Network. Me and Christian, and we have Jimmy, the CEO of Circle Networks. We speak similar, like alike. Why? Friendship fuel business. Okay, why? Because if you're not a friend of someone, if you they don't trust you, you cannot get business out. Even if you have magic wands, that magic wand not fulfill the desire you're looking for. Another thing, you need the experience. Okay, you know what to do. There are people out there, they will let you, they will get you what you wanted to do, but it's also the experience that has to be valued. So if you wanted to be richer in a few days time, few months time, that's okay, you can go away, it doesn't matter, make richer and make your momentum. But if you wanted a steady growth, that point, you need person like Christian, you need person like me, you need person like all our teams. They are out there, and every person they have their strength, weaknesses. Okay, so if you ask Christian, so Christian, can you build me a data-driven pipeline? No, because he hasn't got that experience. If someone asks me, can you teach me for property? Okay, no, I don't have that experience. If you ask, if you come to me, I can you can do data pipeline, how you can build marketing, how you can do software development, these kind of things. If you ask me for marketing, no, I cannot do it. So every person they have their strength, and working with that is strength. You go to the next levels. So Christian, we are nearly end of our session. So we're going to be having more events in the future, and I would thank you everyone for joining today's live webinar, and this is on replay on our social channels. So if you wanted to replay this and share this with your audience, thank you, and feel free to share those. And another thing that if uh, you have asked a lot of questions here, we cannot show those questions or share those our thoughts with you. Christian is there, he is in social media, so if you want to ask him specifically, please ask him and ask me. We are more than happy to answer those questions for you. So, Christian, I can see a book behind you. This
Yes.
is we're not going to talk about anything marketing. We have just 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Can you tell? Can you discuss about your book?
Sure. So the book, I would say it's a more, I would say it's a book, but it's a booklet, because
Mhm,
it's I create this. It's 7 keys for business optimization and maximization. So I make
mhm,
it very. You can see it's quite like a nice, easy
mhm,
read because it only has uh, 45 pages. But the
mhm,
thing is that in these 45 pages, you get the structure. It's like the skeleton to how to optimize it. It doesn't mean it's going to give you all the answers
mhm.
because most of the answers are here or with Dr. Shah and other people that had helped me to put this together. So I am happy to give this. I can give you the link and share this as a free copy to whoever wants to have it, because I like to give more than anything, and giving this is gonna help you to understand a part of the process. So
Mhm.
the rest of it just comes with working with people like myself and Dr. Shak and other mentors, because I have my mentors, and even my daughter is my mentor sometimes because I'm learning from
Yes.
it. But you need to surround yourself with these people. So I want to thank you again, Dr. Shak, and also your audience and my audience for being part of this journey. And I really hope and encourage everyone to share this and encourage other people to come on board and discuss and ask questions, because the only way for this to work and for us to actually open our minds and our share our experiences, if you ask the question, and don't
Yes.
be afraid to ask, oh, this is a silly question. It's silly not to ask, then ask a
Yes.
silly question. So thank you again for your time, and I'm looking forward to our next session, Dr. Shak, and I'll leave you to close this call, which I'm sure is going to be a great closing. Thank you.
Thank you, Christian. So thank you, everyone, for joining today's session. We're going to be doing more lives, more training together, and we're going to be traveling as well. So we have few missions today to work together, finalizing the new technology, and then run different type of questions. Something greater is coming from Christian, the 10x. You will know about the 10x very very soon. And if you wanted to join our network, feel free to reach us. Either way, you will get benefited, because sometimes we don't charge. We support people to for our social cause, for our social responsibility. We support people. So don't hesitate to contact us if you need any help and you don't have any money. So you don't need money to start your business. You just need thinking, connect with right people. A lot of people, they will give you free advice, they will give you free tools, and we also give free tools to anyone they wanted to start their business. So we are giving away free application to anyone they wanted to start their business, and we're going to be working together to get to you next level. So when you earn, we earn, and when you don't earn, we don't charge you. And we have a lot of other things coming up. So thank you everyone for joining today's live webinar. It was a pleasure to talking to you, Christians. Do you wanted to say anything to the audience in 1 minute?
Thank you. No, like I said, I appreciate that. And like you said, the only way to work together is work together. It's simple as that. If you want to grow, and if you want to learn more, because we learn from you and you learn from each other, just feel free to reach out to us, because that's when you create quantum leaps, when people, especially with the right mindset and the right attitude and the right thinking, are coming together. The only way for two minds to come together is to meet in the middle and create something bigger that they both together they can achieve. Because you can go and be like a passing ship, or you can connect and become a builder and build through it and go through all the challenges easier and faster than anything else.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you, Christian, and thank you, everyone. I will welcome you next. And we are planning, as I said, we are cooking. So we are cooking, something great is coming. And we will welcome you all together to be part of that great innovation, great thinking, and great future. So until next, thank you and bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.